Hi there everybody, this is Farmer Bob and welcome to my channel and welcome to a new series. If this is your first time, I would really appreciate you watching and give us a like and maybe a subscribe. That would really help the channel out. And yes guys, it's so wonderful to start a new series. I've been thinking a lot about this and was very reluctant to do it, but after long consideration and many requests, I've really thought maybe it might be a good idea. And I know there's a lot of these videos out there, there's a lot of tutorials and there's a lot of stuff. So I thought I'll just throw in my 5 cents and the way I do things, not that mine is the right way. I mean, you can approach map building in any direction, obviously. And obviously create your own style. And that is basically what I have done. If you like my maps, you might find this, the way I do it, helpful to you. If not, then yeah, just don't watch it. Move on to some of my other content. Oh, awesome, man, guys. It's so wonderful to share this with you guys and what I do and how I do it. And I'm going to try my best to stick to the plan and share whatever in as much detail as I can and to make it as easy as possible. I'm not the world's greatest teacher, but I'm really going to try my best to put out there an easy to follow map build tutorial, just for the guys that want to start from scratch and, well, not really start from scratch, but to make their own maps, and to see how easy it actually is. And there's a lot of stuff you can do to make your life easy while building maps, obviously. Right, so without further ado, guys, obviously now to build a map, I've never gone into the effort of making my own startup map, because that is, you can do it, I suppose. I suppose it's not that big an issue because you just use the already existing map from Farming Simulator in your game install directory. There's 2 maps and you just copy those out or export them out and just wipe out everything, and then you've got a decent map set up with whatever, flatten all the environment. And it's too much of work, However, what I do is I go onto the internet, mainly at modhub.us or modland.net, and there's also another one, trying to think of the name of the site, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You just find yourself a decent startup map, The one I normally use, I've got 2 that I normally use. I can share with you guys what I do. It's empty map and blank map. You can just search for those 2 words, empty map and blank map, and you will find various of them. Now, a tip from the start is download the ones that you can find and open them up in the editor. In fact, you can also open them up in the game and check that they have all the stuff you need. First of all, I always look for one with multi-fruit. Everyone these days wants multi-fruit, so find the empty map with multi-fruit. And the next thing, obviously, is the size. How big a map do you want to design? So don't go and download a 16 times map if you want to only stick to a 2 times, or original size of any map, or the 2 maps in Farming Simulator, I believe, is 2 times. So yes, don't go and, because I tell you what, to populate just a 4 times map, and I mean the 2 maps I'm using, the empty map one is a 2 times map, and the blank map is a 4 times map. And both of those has got multi-fruit, and both of them, I mean, the 2 times map is already a big job to fill with content and to make it beautiful. It takes hours, guys, if not days and weeks of work to put in to populate the map, So the smaller your map to start with, the better for you, because then you don't have to spend so much time to finish it off, So, and that was exactly the idea that I started with in this series is to make a tiny map. And you'll see I've already got my folder there, tiny. So this is, I'm going to actually make a working map, guys, and in the process show you how I do it and what I do. So that is your first thing, obviously, is download the map, extract it onto your desktop into a folder, and then rename it. Now, when you rename a map, or the folder where the map is in, immediately there's a lot of content in the XMLs that needs to change. So you have to go through your XMLs, all of them, and do that. So we're going to do that later on. I'm not worried about that at first, but I'm just letting you know that is something to make a note of, is to change your XMLs. Otherwise, you're going to run into huge errors and can't find this and can't find that when you start your map in the game. So, all right. So without further ado, I've already started now this map, unfortunately, without you guys, and I wasn't feeling to do the work that I've done. Luckily, I haven't done much, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you through the steps of what I've done, just to bring you up to speed of where I am. I haven't really done much, as you can see. There's basically a river and a road and 5 fields and the normal husbandries. And because it's a tiny map, what I'm going to show you now, how I've done this, I just want to quickly check something. Yep, I'll be back in a sec. Okie dokie, guys. Yes, as I was saying earlier on, I'm going to go step for step through what I've already done on the map. It is a blank map and I really haven't done much yet. But yes, get comfortable, guys. Get your favorite drink, have a cup of coffee, whatever you feel like, whatever you enjoy. I'm having one myself, so yes, while we go through this nitty-gritty stuff, you know. Okay, what I've done on this so far is I've decided to make a mini map, a small miniature map, not a big one. And in order to do that, I'm going to quickly zoom out a bit to show you. I've created a square in the middle of the normal standard map, or the blank map. And I've created the square by taking our map borders. If you go to the map borders, every map should have map borders. The map borders are there to stop your vehicles from passing through, so that the edge, you normally put that on the side on the edges of your map, I would say, on the very edge, so that your vehicles don't fall off the map, you know. so yes, obviously I'm going to put some type of a tree fence here, or make some type of a thing here so that people can't go through that. But I've just moved them. It's very simple and easy to do that. You take one of them and you just obviously move it to the side, left or right. I've just gone to a size where on -500, I've brought every border in with 500s, so that I get the square in the middle of the map. But that's obviously irrelevant for you, because you're going to not move the borders, obviously. So I'm just showing you what I've done so far. And then basically I've created 5 fields, very simple and easy to create fields. I've got a whole video on creating fields. Did I make a video of that? Can't really remember if I did, but anyway, yes, I did make a video. If you look under my videos, you'll find a field creation video, how to make fields. I've just taken one field and I've duplicated it and moved it around to create the field I want. I'm not going to go into detail on how to create fields in this, but you can watch my video on how to create fields. It's all nicely explained there. Great. The rest of the stuff on the map is obviously this stuff is part of the map. I'm just going to delete them. That's just your different fruit types. And sorry, there was obviously some other stuff on it. There's still like trees and whatever, and all the cell points that needs to be moved into place. That comes with a blank map or a starter map, start map, or whatever map you try to, or whatever map you start with or decide to use, should have that on. Okay, before you do anything on your map, let me just quickly show you, or just give you a tip there. I always forget this, and even on this map, I forgot to do that, is select a base background for your map. I won't say a background, but like a base type of, what do you call these things? It's a foliage layer. You select a base foliage layer. Now for this map, I've used grass. Obviously, this blank map comes with grass as a default, but it's the flat grass. It's got nothing to it. And then on top of that, I've added normal grass on second layer. So you go into grass, and I've select green middle. All right, for the whole map. So I just draw a huge square. Let me just go out again. Select that. Okay. I'll just make a huge square of my tool, and then just click once on the whole map. So you basically select the grass like this. Well, obviously you have to zoom out first, so you can see your whole map. Once you've done that, once you've zoomed out to see the whole map like that, you just go here to grass, select your growth, and then select that one obviously, and then make it square on your brush type. Select square, and then in here you type 1200 or 1100. It should give you a huge square like that, and you just click once, and whoop, the whole map is covered in grass. And then you do your editing, because otherwise you're going to spend hours filling in the details of the little grasses. And now I've already made myself some work, but I'll catch up in off screen to get up to date with where I should be. Because now what's happening is, if you look at, just want to up this a bit, speed, never mind. If you look at the grass now, it is over my fields. Have I cleared the fields yet? No, not yet. So you can see there's now grass growing on my fields. So I just decided it's easier to just delete a little bit of grass on the 5 fields and on the road. I'll get to the husbandry just now. It's much easier to delete the grass off the road, than to like little fill in everywhere on the map. So yeah, okay. Anyways, guys, and then what I've done, the next thing I've done is I've just used my building tool, or the terrain detail tool, this one, the terrain sculpt mode, the terrain sculpt mode. You click on that, and I've made my brush small. I think I used 7 here. It's my size for roads. A dual road I've worked out to be 7 on the radius. It will be perfect for a dual road, and 2 vehicles can drive past. Obviously not harvesters and those, but normal cars and trucks and whatever. 7 should be fine for that. Brush type, you go around, and then what I do is select, I put the opacity, hardness and value. I just go max when I make a river, for instance, and then I just drag, right click. Obviously your right mouse button is remove, subtract. So I right drag, and I just form a channel for now, and then later on I will give detail to the channel to make it wider in places and thinner in places and deeper and whatever, shallower in some places. And the same thing for the road. I just choose terrain detail tool, and for the road I just use rough dirt, put it on 7, and just draw a line where the road is going to be. That's just in this map I'm going to just use the dust road. I'm not going to go with a tar road because I want to keep it rustic and simple. But you can now obviously take your tar road and import one of the packs, the tar road packs, and then just paste it over this road, and voila, you've got a tar road. Now the next thing I've done is obviously the water plane. I've taken a water plane from another map. I used this water plane on my Gariep map, and I've just exported. Now to do that, you open obviously your map that you want to use a water plane from. You can take it from Giants, Space Maps, from wherever. Important things I'm going to show you now is you click on it, you go File, Export with Files, and then obviously you put it in the map directory where you want to, in the map that you are using. So in my case, it's going to be desktop and tiny, and then I think maps, and then I've put there placeables, and I've made a water plane there. You see, so I've already done that, so I'm not going to redo it. And then you click save, and when it asks you if you want to export the parent directory and all that stuff, you just click no, and that's it. All right. And what it does then, it takes everything that you need for the water plane and put it in that directory. So when you import it then into your map, which is the next step, into your actual map that you want to use, it will already, it will have all the necessary files and components and whatever it needs to actually put the water plane in there. Right, so once you've put the water plane in, to get it into your map, then you go File, Import, obviously, and then you just go to the same directory in your map, obviously that we've had, desktop, tiny. I love the name tiny. It's going to be a lekker map. It's going to be great. Maps, and then placeables, and then water plane. Select that and you click open, and it will bring it in. It's going to drop it right at the bottom. Anything you import is always landing at the bottom of your tree. So all I did, I've moved the water plane right to the top under the start point, or the career start point. So that is where I want to leave my water plane. So I've just moved the whole transform group up there. All right, so now very important thing, water plane main, is if you have a water plane and you want the water to be usable. In other words, if you put a water plane in your map and you want it to be a water plane that vehicles can collect from, so draw water from, say for instance a water tanker, you want to suck up some water from the river or from the dam or whatever, these attributes have to be in there. So the main water makes it the main water plane. So this water plane that I've got here covers the whole map, and I set the height, which is the y-axis. I've set the height to 32 because my terrain is at 0. So at the moment it's just underneath the map, so it's not in the way. But later on I will just move it up until I've got the desired depth of water over the whole map. Now in the past I've had a lot of struggles with water planes to get it to work properly, and that is one big hassle if you haven't got these attributes in. I'm thinking if I should go into this at the moment. When you import a water plane, just make sure it's got these attributes. I'm not going to go into detail how to create these attributes now. It's actually not too difficult. What you basically do is you type this is main water. If you export a water plane and it's already got the attributes will come with. But if it doesn't, you can convert any water plane into a main water plane by just typing here by the attribute. You type this exactly, is main with caps M, water with caps WATER, and just type it in there, and you click add, and voila, you will have a this is not a script callback in any way, it's a boolean. So you'll use the boolean for the main water, and then the on create is a script, because there's a script in here. So obviously when you do this, you'll add an on create. So you type in here on create, click script callback, and you click add, and the moment you do that, on create will be here with an empty block, and you type this words exactly in there, environment dot on create, exactly the same way it's written there. Then you will have the things going great, and yeah, then your water plane is set. And then obviously you just need to adjust your height and the size and whatever, and you will be happy. Good. Great, moving on, guys. Okay, from water planes, the next thing, obviously, let me just go zoom out again. There you go. So this is where I am, guys. This is currently, oh yes, then the next thing I've done, obviously, I've chosen where to put my farm. I've created the fields, 5 fields, just by duplicating one of them. I've just used the standard field that came with this map. It was already there, and I've just duplicated it 5 times, rename it. So it's very simple. You take your field, your first field, you press Control D, you'll see it will pop it down here, a new one. And on this side, you rename it. It will be field 6. And then what you do with field 6, let me just show you. If you do that like that, enter, and there you go, field 6. Ah, man, I've still got this thing selected. Let me just zoom in. Now, field 6 will be duplicated over field 5, field 1. So what you do is you press Control and B, and with your left button, click and hold where you want the field. And once you drop it, it should have actually been there. Let me just undo that. Delete that field. Delete it. Not supposed to do that. Control Z. I know what's wrong, guys. Sorry, we don't have our fields on. So what you do is you click on your field transform group, go to scripts, Fs19 map, and then toggle render field areas. So once you've done that, your fields will become visible. The actual fields, or would I say the field layout will become visible. There it is. So now what you do then, grab your first field, Control D to duplicate, rename, it's the next step. So go 6 there, obviously 6 is after 5. And once you've done that, Control B once, and there you go. And then you can move that field into place. Once you've got it in place, like that, you go to your terrain foliage paint mode. Okay, and then I just want to go here to square, obviously. Square this up a bit, make it the same size as the field, like that, right in like that. And then obviously here on top, you go to your very top one, which is terrain detail. And the moment you've got that selected, leave that blank, and then terrain foliage paint mode, you can just paint the actual, change the grass or the background to field, like that. And once you've done that, it's all usable and plantable and whatever in the game. There's obviously a lot more to field creation, which I'm not going to bother now with doing that. If you open your corners or your field dimensions, you'll find that the corners are in here. So if you need a new corner, if you've got a different shape than a square, you only need 3 corners for a square. But the moment you have a different shape, you're going to have to add multiple corners. Like for instance, in my maps, I normally don't have a lot of square fields. I like to have roundish and whatever fields, like in real life. You know, very little, often, very seldom do you get square fields or rectangular fields in real life. You know, they're all different shapes and stuff. You know, but anyways, enough said. Field 6, I just want to get rid of that again, because obviously, let me just undo this stuff. Oh, no, I can't do that. Okay, anyways, I'll catch up. I just want 5 fields, I don't want 6. Great. Okay, there, it did delete it. I was just too much in a hurry. Okay, once done there, scripts, Fs19, map, toggle field areas to get rid of it again. And there you are, guys. All right, so the next thing I've done, just to get you up to speed of where I am, is I've imported all the husbandries. In this map, I'm just going to use the small ones. I'm not going to use any custom ones. In the past maps, I've made some custom cow husbandries, created my own sizes and shapes and whatever, and used it there. But in this one, I'm just going to use the stock small ones, The way to import that is very easy. And once again, you don't copy nothing into your map directory. You use it straight out of the base game. Okay, in order to do that, guys, you will import it, but you don't want these husbandries as stuff in the game, because your XML needs to load it into the game the moment you open the map in the game. So you don't want these husbandries in the map as active husbandries, because otherwise you're going to have errors when the XML loads it and it's already there. And if you've loaded it if you've loaded it from a mod file, you need to specify it in the XML as part of the what do you call it, the store. It needs store data as well, and that becomes, it's not a problem, but you need to remember that. So it's safest is for the husbandries. I've just done it straight from the game directory. So you just go, before you import, you need to have a placeholder folder, or a, what do you call it, a transform group in your tech tree. I call it tech tree, but actually in your tree. Now the name placeholders is important. So you create a transform. If it's not already there, you need to have you create it by making a new transform, renaming it to placeholders, and then you create a boolean for it, a script callback. So you click, you write on create in here, and you go script callback, and you say add, and once again it will give you the on create with a blank one, and then you type in there placeholders.onCreate, exactly as it's written there. Placeholders with the caps and small letters, exactly as it is. Placeholders.on small letters create big letter C. And that's it. Now what happens? Okay, so what's going to happen then, once you've created this attribute for this folder, the game is going to see that folder as a temporary or just a placeholder. So whatever you put in here, in this folder, all the stuff that I've added here will not be loaded in the game. The game will ignore these. So when you open the map, they will not be visible, which is great for your stuff. Because this means now I can plan and I can work around them and I can make it nice. Because if you just load them via XML, you won't be able to see where to place stuff around it, you know. So now I can work around it and have stuff in the map while I'm busy seeing where they are, and I can move them around exactly as I want them, you know. What the guys normally used to do is you place your thing, and then once you've placed it and you got the positions for it, for instance, you take the positions and the rotation and everything, and then they delete it, you know. But now with this option, with the placeholders, you don't have to delete it. It will stay there and the game will ignore it. So it's just for your map creation to make it simpler and easier for you. Yes, and it doesn't really take any space, guys, because remember, these are actually it's actually sitting in your base game, so it's not in your map. So yeah, wonderful, man. Okay, guys, so that's basically what I've done. And to import, obviously, to import any animal husbandry or mod from the base game, it's simple. You go import, and Farming Simulator, I'm using the Steam edition. So if you go there, it will be Steam, program files, Steam apps, common, Farming Simulator 19, data, placeables, and then animal husbandry. And here's all your husbandry. So you just click on any one and you click open. Once again, it will drop it here at the bottom. You can click on it and select Control X to cut it, and then click on your placeholders folder and Control V, and it will put it in this transform group for you. And then handy Control B and place it where you want it, move it around as you please, and that's it, guys. Great. So yes, man, exciting. So this is where I am now. Now you're up to speed of what I've done in this first episode, and yes, I hope so far it is not too boring, but at least I've covered some ground, and give you an idea what I'm busy with at the moment. So yes, exciting guys. So together we will finish up this whole map. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I want to make a nice map building a few videos, and I will place it in my YouTube under my playlist of map creation, and you will find it in there. Great guys, thank you once again for joining and for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do think and consider. It really does help me a lot. I'm aiming to at least just get 1,000 subscribers, guys, so I can start earning a bit of dollars, from YouTube and from all my views. Not that I get a lot of views, but yes, I'm very grateful for everyone, guys. So thanks so much, and I'll catch you next time. This is Farmer Bob. I'm saying cheers. Take care.